The sharing of biased and
false news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets publish things they simply aren't true without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think. And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay. Serious crap.
Every conspiracy you pretty much ever heard of is all pretty much true. 9/11 was an inside job. No one's ever walked on the moon. The vaccines are poison. Can you cough in my face?
The Channel Zero guys are the perfect guys for the job. I mean, are they talented broadcasters? No. Do they have charisma? No. Are they particularly interesting? Not really. And they're complete fucking whack jobs.
You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Now listen to me, Elvin. I'm offering you a spot on the Kirk Minahan YouTube channel where you do your own show with these conspiracies. Elvin's going to be a star in this world.
You guys know what this represents? Well, maybe it's the calm before the storm.
What storm, Mr. President?
You'll find out.
The reason that there are conspiracy theories is that because there are conspiracies, and if you disagree with that fact, you're a fucking moron. Yeah, Building 7 is a mystery for sure. I don't know why Building 7 collapsed.
It's rare that I'm the most sane person on a podcast.
I would bomb the shit out of him.
We introduced for the first time ever anywhere that...
What difference at this point does it make?
This has been not a dream of mine, but almost a dream of mine.
Oh, the Channel Zero guys.
Welcome to the fucking show.
Put a fucking disclaimer up at the beginning. They don't speak for us.
Episode 22. Welcome. It's Thursday. Also, almost made it. So we're going to do a quick rundown, a little bonus episode this week. We are doing the fans a service. Ain't that right, guys?
Always.
100%.
We love our fans.
We do. Let's jump right into Michael Flynn. As you guys know, there's been a lot of judicial fuckery going on with what's his story. So let's pull up this tweet here. And Eve, if you want to just walk us through it.
Yeah, so this was a tweet from Lindsey Graham, and looks like it's having a little trouble buffering. Or do I have bad service on my end?
Nah, it looks weird on my end, too. There we go.
Okay. If you actually just want to pull up the
article?
Yeah, just click on the article there.
Sure.
Politico article, so it's probably half bullshit. But so they're actually going to rehear the case about the Michael Flynn prosecution. This judge that has been fighting back, I think his name's Emmett Sullivan or something like that, has decided to, really push back hard. And now they're rehearing the case. And I believe it's going to be like, if you scroll down just a little, I think it's like August 12th or something like that.
August 11th.
Oh, August 11th. So stay tuned, everybody. I mean,
what do you mean? They're running it back? It's like the reverse appeal situation or something? What's happening?
Yeah, essentially it's like a reverse appeal that's going on. And it's got some like weird Latin name that I've never heard. But yeah, so we'll see what happens. I mean, this is, to me, the fact that they are fighting tooth and nail, like, do they really care that much? He must have the goods on somebody. And I feel like it just kind of helps prove that point. What do you guys think?
This all still confuses me how the judge can be the one who decides the case, whether
wild.
And also you mentioned like they found some law, it was like written in Latin. This is what they do is like, we talked about this before, how the laws are supposed to be black and white and they're really gray. They'll fucking have interns comb through stacks of fucking old laws to find some
loophole.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Yep. It's
Why
crazy.
doesn't he give the goods up if he has it though? Like now, why does he have to go through all this before he says anything?
Because he's still he's still convicted, I guess. So I don't know if he's technically a free man at the moment. I don't know how this all works, but I think he's gonna fight back as soon as this is over. I don't know maybe he's just got to get this behind him, because you don't want to have to take a misstep in doing this, and then this comes up in the prosecution and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
very odd. It's something I'm having a hard time understanding too, Zach. Another thing I have a really hard time understanding is TikTok in general and the appeal behind it. I guess I'm just too fucking old to really get it. But
it's like Vine. Remember Vines? I
remember Vine, but I never fucked around with Vine.
I was big into Vines.
Vine was great.
Yeah, it was funny. And it's crazy because some people like make their livelihoods on this stuff, which is insane to think about. But Trump firing again at China. He's, basically making ByteDance, who owns TikTok, either sell TikTok's US operations, which is 30% of their company, to the US, or 100% of it. And if it's not done, I think by the end of September, then it's not going to be allowed in the US anymore, which is going to disrupt a lot of people's lives.
I don't understand how you can defend this of all people.
Well,
it's essentially banning, is it not? Like TikTok, I get it. It's Chinese. I get all that. Trust me, I understand. But he's essentially saying, fork it over, or the U.S. is not going to consume you, and we're just going to block whatever media comes from your platform.
Well, he's saying he's protecting his citizens. You have all this data on our citizens. We want it back, or this shouldn't be shared with another government. And he's trying to sell it to, I think Microsoft is like the leading company right now for it. It hasn't been finalized or anything, but I think it's a huge shot to China because they're known for finding every way they can to get everybody's data. And this is another way that they've been doing it. So I think this was a big blow to them, believe it or not.
Do you remember the ban on Huawei? On the Huawei phones?
Yeah.
Very similar. Those Huawei phones, they believed, had a back door in the operating system that would leak all the information back to the Chinese government, which almost 100% was happening. That's why they banned the phones, because in China, the government controls the corporation. So it's similar to actually like it is in Russia. Like the Chinese government can look at, seize, monitor your server traffic for any business. There's no such thing as like an exclusively private business in China. The Chinese government can fucking monitor whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah.
So this is the reason why it's so funny that people would get mad about this. Frankly, for us too, like who cares about TikTok? Well, a lot of kids do, a lot of younger people do, but
sure.
Really what should happen in China, let's do the reverse. China does not allow Google, Facebook, Amazon, they don't allow the American companies to operate over there because they know that that's what we'll do.
Yeah.
So what they do is they steal the intellectual property and they build their own version of Google, and they have Alibaba for Amazon and Waidu or whatever it's called for Google, and they have all their own versions of programs that Americans create because they don't want these American programs being used by Chinese citizens, and then the American government can get information through a back door. And frankly, that's kind of smart when it comes to like geopolitics.
Yeah.
And it's like I understand like. It's really anti-capitalism, but they're not good guys. Okay. They're using this app and this data for nefarious purposes, obviously. So, I'm a little bit torn like ethically on this. Cause I do feel like it's like, hey, why are we limiting business? We're mad that they're censoring QAnon people on Twitter, but we're also banning, phones and applications from China, but I totally get it. I mean,
but this data is also in the hands of Microsoft and Google. And I know they're all U.S. companies, and maybe it's not a matter of national security. But the next step, to go off of the theme of last time, at least for me, where you're kind of taking that extra half step, to me, it feels like the next step would be the government now seizes whatever control of a Google and says, hey, you're too powerful. You can't have this sort of information. It's a security threat. We're just taking you over. Not that I'm team Google or anything, but that's the direction it could go.
Well, it's always this thing of like, do you want corporate corruption or government corruption?
Yeah.
Because either way, one of them's going to happen.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's funny because the American government's like, no, you can't spy on our people. We're spying on our people.
Right.
And you're not allowed to do that. That's our thing. Yeah. Stay over there and do that with your people.
And there was sanctions on the other end as well, like in the military side, if I'm understanding this article right. But you're going to have to take me through this because I'm not sure.
Oh, yes. This, like, when I heard about this, I found in a Tim Pool podcast. This guy's the man. He's all over this.
He's great.
So if anyone remembers us last week talking about, I think it's pronounced Xinjiang or something like that. That's where the drone videos were of those people being put in trains, shaved heads. So the more we come to find out about this is it's basically like a mini Holocaust that's going on over there right now I think they're called the Uyghur Muslims. And they're actually like harvesting organs out of these people, trafficking them, torturing them, killing them. And, the whole shaving their heads thing, they actually tried to sell that hair back to America, that they're shaving off the heads here. So good for Trump for putting sanctions on the paramilitary over there running this. Like, I think eventually more is going to have to be done. But this just like almost proves that video that we showed last time, and that dude was full of shit, that there is like some seriously bad stuff going on over there.
Yeah, but Xinjiang is the most beautiful province in China.
Have you ever been there?
Well, that video spoke for itself. Didn't matter what that guy said.
True.
But still,
it's good to see Trump acting on that, because that's some serious shit.
Yeah, I agree.
Hey, you got Chinese Muslims. You probably had a lot of Muslim people in Beirut died, I'm assuming, and are injured. We'll probably have a better idea of what those numbers are today on Thursday night as opposed to last night when we talked about it. But yeah, I'm not drawing any lines. I'm just saying there's just some trends happening. Mm-hmm. It's just a matter of time before the NBA gets out of bed with China. They got to.
They're gonna have to soon.
Did you see this New York Times thing?
What do you got?
So if we pull this open, the New York Times, first sentence, New York Times quietly deleted hundreds of advertorials that the Chinese Communist Party paid to publish on its website. So they're no longer allowing state media organizations like China to pay for spots, but they have to this point.
Well, yeah, my question is, why was that allowed ever? Wow.
Well, how subtle was the propaganda? Like, what?
Yeah, I would like to. I want to see like examples. Not that I'm asking you. I'm curious about this now, because New York Times.
It's the New York Times. Yeah.
They're kind of a joke now, though. Like they've had to retract so much bullshit because, they lie all the time. But
did you see that woman Barry Weiss, the writer who resigned from the New York Times? She was kind of like, famous on Twitter, and she was on the Rogan show a couple times, and she's a very progressive, left-leaning person, and she left the New York Times because she said of like how she was bullied to write certain things and how it has this horrible, toxic, progressive environment, like too progressive for her.
That speaks volumes. Wow.
Yeah, that is scary.
And then on the other side, which I'm surprised, is that they actually scrubbed the Chinese propaganda, because it feels like a lot of the left-leaning folks are like pro-China for some weird reason.
Yeah, they are. Like, I think we're going to find out more about Joe Biden being in bed with China too,
and every other country.
China's like the golden child of the elite, man. They can get cheap labor, they can get cheap anything out of China. They don't care about the environment. They'll do what it takes to supply the elite too. So, yeah, it's sad to see what happens over there. But
did I ever? I may have brought this up before. You guys know the goal of the People's Republic of China, right? Like, they were founded, I think it was 1949, and they had a 100-year plan to take over the world. So
no,
yeah, so basically 2049, and I think that they were on the path there with all the breaks they were getting from everybody. But Trump put some ruffles in the feathers. But we're in like a Cold War right now with China, because things are heating up. It's kind of crazy.
Is it the Republic of China or the Chinese Communist Party?
Well, I believe it was the People's Republic. Maybe it's the Communist Party. I'll have to go back and check. Right. I'll verify that.
Oh yeah, because the country used to be called the People's Republic of China.
Yeah,
but the controlling party is the Communist.
Right,
Chinese
and it became the People's Republic of China in 49, and they had a 100-year plan to become the world dominating force.
Well, up to this point, they've done very well executing on that plan.
Absolutely, but they've had a lot of handouts along the way too.
Yeah, of course.
They've had handouts, but their population allows them to play that war of attrition game where they can release things like coronavirus and worse and see millions of people die globally, and their population is still good. Like, even if they lost 10% of their population, which is probably more than most countries in the world, they're still good, you know?
It's true.
And they have like the one child per family rule and that kind of stuff too.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's wild. We'll see what happens there. Bold take. The Office British version, season 1, was better than the US season 1.
Terrible. Absolutely terrible. I couldn't even stomach it.
Really?
Oh, God. It was god awful. I like Ricky Gervais, but I don't like their version of The Office.
It's like the same thing.
It's just weird. I don't know. British humor just doesn't do it for me.
I agree with E. I actually like some British humor, like all the Monty Python stuff. I love that. But yeah, the original UK Office didn't do it for me.
Ricky is just he was better than.
Don't say better, Michael. What?
He is.
There's nobody that could
Michael
play
Scott's one of
Scott.
the best TV characters of all time.
He is the best TV character of all time. Like, oh my God.
All right, we have another TV frigging controversy to settle, but let's look at what Ricky Gervais has to say about Epstein. When was this?
So, this was a while ago. I think this was last year or the year before. Zach, if you can go to 3:30 on there. This was at the Emmys he was hosting, and he kept saying, like, I don't care. This is my last year doing this, stuff like that. But before you play that, scroll up a little bit. Mm-hmm. So, Ricky Gervais tweeted this out on July 28th. Afterlife didn't get nominated for an Emmy this year, but this did. Outstanding Live Variety Special, blah, blah, blah. That's some consolation, I guess. So thanks, Hollywood. Oh, and stop fucking kids. Cheers.
Wow. He's going in.
He is going in. So now I just want you to play a couple seconds here. Go to 3:30 because he makes a joke and it's about like Epstein shit. I think it's 3:30, not 3:33.
No, I can't. If the video's not
stuck.
It's not buffering for me, right?
Well, we can have the people go check it out on their own time. This was a really good one. He was like, he made some pedophile jokes, and you should have seen Tom Hanks's face. It's pretty interesting stuff. So,
you know what other joke back to the China shit that he made that was unbelievable was when he talked about Tim Cook was in the CEO of Apple was in the audience, and he made a joke about like child labor in building your iPhone, and he's he might have said something about how like they jump off the roof of the building. Tim Cook's right there, the camera's on his face.
He doesn't give a shit.
It was like, oh damn, like he was going hard. Hold on, let me see if this works really quick.
And it's still more fun than this.
There we go.
Okay. Spoiler alert: season 2 is on the way. So in the end, he obviously didn't kill himself, just like Jeffrey Epstein. Shut up! I know he's your friend, but I don't care. You like to make your own way here.
The reactions are interesting.
Right.
Some people are like,
seriously,
that's all
most
really
films
all.
are.
But like, there's other things sprinkled throughout, but we're not going to watch 7 minutes. But like the reactions, like some people like thought it was funny, and then there's some people that are like, you could tell they didn't like it.
Yeah, awkward position for some of those folks for sure.
So
even the ones that are just aware of it, it's like, ooh.
So I know, Zach, everyone's not a pedophile, but Ricky Gervais knows that some of them at least are. So he's calling their asses out.
Yeah.
Does he think
Well,
Tom Hanks
some
one?
of them definitely are.
Is Tom Hanks one?
I don't think so.
I think so.
Well, he did. Now he is now a Greek citizen.
That's right. And I wanted to bring that to everybody's attention for a reason. So him and his wife moved to Greece, a country without extradition. Apparently they have like a reciprocity. So like countries have to trade people. But interesting, if he thinks, maybe the Great Awakening is happening and the storm is coming, he needs to get out of the country so he can't be extradited for all his crimes against children. Be interesting that he just went and got citizenship in Greece. Do you think I'm just I'm reaching here, Zach?
I do, but also,
really,
if he was implicated in this whole thing, what does it matter where he is in the world? Now everybody knows you're a pedophile scumbag. Like it's already the cat's out of the bag. Like,
but
what good is being in Greece?
They can't pull him out and arrest him in the U.S.
Right. And then he could just like grow facial hair and look like he didn't Castaway, and nobody will even know.
They have much more laxed laws, from what I understand, on child sex in Greece.
I think like the legal age of consent is like 14 there, by the way, or something crazy like that.
So culturally, they may not have a problem with it, especially, if he's a citizen, he's probably contributing a lot of, what's the word we always say? He's a philanthropist in Greece all of a sudden. So,
yeah. Just throwing that out there.
I think, like, aren't a lot of celebrities, all these people like, not my president and blah, 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 blah. And everybody's like, well, why don't you leave then? Why don't you leave? Maybe he just is leaving because he's sick of America and the politics and the culture and everything going on.
He's sick of the Anons calling him a pedophile on Twitter. He's like, fuck.
Yeah.
Maybe.
True.
Maybe.
Wait,
All
so
right.
also last thing, sorry. Does this mean he's no longer a U.S. citizen?
I don't
Or
know.
he's
Maybe
both,
he's
or he's
got,
both.
he might have dual.
Okay.
Well, actually, if he was a U.S. citizen, wouldn't they have the right to go in and pull him out then?
Yeah, right. That's why.
So maybe he is.
Yeah.
I'm going to look into that because I want to
Right.
finalize that point.
Yeah. All right, let's get to our friend Jizz Max.
Max. All right. So everyone's probably wondering why in the episode last night we didn't cover any of this. Saving it. All right. Where are we going first, boys? Because, there was a lot of information released recently, a lot of documents from the previous trial and or the testimony from Virginia Giuffre, or Virginia Roberts, if you will. And there's some information that's come out, but a lot of it has been halted, so we'll get to that. But Zach, what do you have first on the call sheet there?
Well, this is the Dershowitz stuff. It says not only did Dershowitz abuse the minor, but he helped draft a non-prosecution agreement that gave Dershowitz immunity. Now, do you remember when this stuff came out and he was named by Virginia Roberts as one of her abusers?
Yep.
He did an interview, like a remote teleconference interview, and he sounded like the most guilty person I've ever seen in my life, dude.
And he's a lawyer.
And he's a lawyer. And he's like, she's a prostitute. That's what he was saying. He's like yelling all these. He was so defensive and so like crazy.
Yep.
And frankly, I had asked you about this at the time, E, but when Trump brought in Dershowitz to defend him during the Russia collusion thing, it was like, what a bad look. Why would you do that?
That was terrible. I mean,
why
I
would
know
you pull this guy in?
he's a world-class like defense lawyer, but like still the guy is an absolute piece of scum. Like you gotta draw the line.
Yeah, there's a lot of other good ones. And whoever
agree.
the head counsel guy was for Trump was very good. And it's like, why, I forget his name, but it's like, why wouldn't that guy go to Trump and be like, dude, this is a bad look.
You just get this dude out of here.
Get him out of here. So that one, I remember asking you about that at the time, and you were even like, that's no defending that. Bad look. But to me, Dershowitz and all the interviews I've seen, he is so hyper defensive about this stuff. It's like you fucking reek of guilt.
Right? It's crazy.
He's indulging as well.
Yeah. So he's a disgusting piece of shit. And he actually, right before this show, I got an update on my phone that Alan Dershowitz moves to privately obtain all sealed materials relating to Giuffre versus Maxwell. The court notes that many materials relating are under seal due to the stay in the Maxwell case pending appeal. So he's panicking. Like he's trying to get his hands on the documents before they come out to the public so he can probably, create a narrative around it.
I would really hope that wherever these documents are, whoever has them today, whatever it is, right? Political lines aside, this whole situation is disgusting. It's a travesty and people need to be exposed. I would hope break the fucking law and make a copy of this thing, or, hang on to these documents to expose it some other way.
Right.
Yeah. Like if it's really this bad, where do your morals lie? Like I hate this political shit and all this maneuvering of the lawyers and all this sealed, unsealed, fuck, blah, blah, blah. It's like if somebody gets their hands on this stuff and it clearly implicates these people for doing horrible fucking things, put your political biases aside
and take that person down.
These people, like what the fuck?
Agreed.
It's hard because that would tell you one of two things. They're afraid to do it, and we've seen some questionable murders or whatever situations, or they're complicit in some way or know someone or are protecting a friend or like there's something.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if that's the case, the web is so wide that like everybody is implicated somehow, you know, in these high places who's involved in all these processes.
Well, I mean, you got to figure Dershowitz alone is like world class. Like he knows all sorts of attorneys on both sides. And not that I'm saying he's probably open about what he's up to, but I'm sure there's some sort of understanding of what's happening between those groups.
That's the thing. We've talked about that a bunch. Is like these people roll in the same circles. They all know. They all know who's shady and who's doing what to some extent. They know. That was like the Weinstein shit.
Right.
Like Oprah, Hillary. You didn't know? You had no idea that he was a creep? Like, come on.
I hate saying this because it's actually kind of Blind Mike gets shit on for like defending people that are like, you know, the Me Too people. That Weinstein stuff in retrospect looks like small fucking potatoes. And no offense. I get there was a lot of lives ruined and fucked up shit happened, but this is a whole new level. If we're talking, I hate when they say underage, like women and stuff online. It's like girls. Kids. Use the right word. These are kids you're talking about.
It's just like saying undocumented citizens versus illegal aliens. Like, no, illegal aliens and girls. Like, they are what they are.
An undocumented citizen is an oxymoron.
Or undocumented immigrant. Is that what it is?
Oh, I don't know.
Whatever. Yeah. Semantics.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. We got to bang through a lot here.
Yeah. Keep it going.
All right. So, yes, this was interesting. So it came out that the FBI has had their copy of this photo and potentially others since 2011, and that Robert Mueller and James Comey were involved. They knew about this, and I believe that Robert Mueller was the one who told Acosta like he belongs to intelligence, back off type of shit. So this just shows like how deep it's rooted. It's not just politicians, it's not just celebrities, it's law enforcement and everything else. And that's why, like, when Trump talks about the swamp, he's not joking.
Man. This second part, I'm actually surprised that they gave it back to her, the picture. Do you see this question and answer? The second image here?
I can't see it from where I'm at. It's too small.
So did the photograph ever leave your possession for a while? I gave it to the FBI. Okay, and when did they get it back to you? After they took copies of it, which I'm shocked.
Wow.
And Zach lost connection.
Zach lost power.
Oh, shit. All right.
Oh, shit. All right. We're going to have to land this plane without him.
Let's do it. All right. So we have Prince Andrew, or do you want to do the Comey thing?
We just did the Comey.
All right. Let's see.
Yeah, we'll just bang through these quick and then we'll wrap.
All right. Might need to...
I know. Do you want me to like set the stage while you're pulling it up here?
No, it looks like Zach's back, actually.
He is?
I lost power.
All right.
We thought you were done for the night.
Yeah.
I'm back.
Yes.
Perfect.
All right.
You lost power for a brief second?
I actually have a full home generator, thank God.
Nice.
So it took a second for it to kick in, and we're back.
Nice.
All right. Cool. So we're still doing the Maxwell rundown. I think we left off on the Comey one, if you want to bring that up on the call sheet.
Can you see that?
That's the one we just did.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, the next one was Prince Andrew. So this came out, and I didn't realize that this was the case. This just further implicates Prince Andrew as far as I'm concerned. I mean, I don't think anybody on this show at this point doubts that he was heavily, heavily involved in this. But apparently he lobbied the U.S. government for the favorable Epstein plea in the previous trial. So why would he even, maybe it's your friend, but still, like, if your friend's a pedophile, are you really going to stick your neck out that far for him? I don't know.
Yeah. Unless you're implicated as well. And this was the famous thing about, do you remember there were these, he claimed, he's a terrible liar, first of all.
Yes.
But he claimed that after that case happened and Epstein was found guilty in 2008, that he cut ties with him. And in this interview, I forget exactly which one, they pull up this picture. He's walking through Central Park with Epstein in like 2013.
Right. Yeah.
And they're like, this picture's after the thing. He's like, okay, maybe I saw him once. And it's like, he's a terrible liar. And did you guys know he doesn't sweat anymore?
Well, no, he does now. He does now. He had a
he does
it.
He does again now? Oh,
because
okay.
that was Virginia Giuffre's testimony, is that like she remembers being in the club with him and him sweating all over her all night. And he's like, well, that wasn't possible because I couldn't sweat then. And I'm like, That has to be the most ass backwards excuse I've ever heard. Like nobody believes.
What a
that.
lie! What are you, a dog? You only sweat through your mouth. He's just got his tongue out all the time.
Insane.
So ridiculous.
If anything happens to him, I don't know why, but I feel like I'll be most surprised if he actually gets in any trouble.
Well, he's well insulated.
And I agree. And what's crazy is he might be the most implicated of everyone.
Yeah.
Through the whole thing.
Other
But
than
I agree.
Ghislaine.
Right. But I agree with you. I don't think he'll go down either. I really don't.
Yeah. I just see American people going down before him. He's royalty. It's cheesy.
That doesn't mean shit anymore.
It's cheesy, but
fuck that.
We'll see.
They think they're shit. We're taking it back.
So FBI was trying to get Trump. Obviously, we saw a lot of like the reverse Trump Epstein, and we've talked about it a handful of times. Zach's called out some other examples, but let's take a look at this article here.
Yeah. So if
you can keep leading it in though.
Yeah. So I actually want to see if you can pull up the testimony on this article here, because this is Virginia Giuffre's testimony about Donald Trump during the Epstein trial previously. Keep scrolling down.
Oh, okay.
Right here. So when did Donald Trump flirt with you? He didn't. That's inaccurate. Did you ever see Donald Trump at Jeffrey's house? Not that I can remember. On his island? Not that I can remember. In New Mexico? Not that I can remember. In New York? Not that I can remember. So basically, they were trying to like plant Trump there, like obviously. But okay, you can say that for all of the questions, but the initial lead-in question, when did Donald Trump? That's assuming that he flirted with you. That's assuming that he did something bad. So you can tell that like they were trying to set him up from the beginning.
The first part of it says, what is the basis of your statement that Donald Trump is a good friend of Jeffrey's? Answer, Jeffrey told me that Donald Trump is a good friend of his, but you never observed them together? No, not that I can actually remember. I mean, off the top of my head. Then why would the next question be, when did Donald Trump flirt with you?
Right.
He did.
It's just this weird line of questioning. So, I mean, Virginia was definitely probably one of their most trafficked, the people who had been with them the longest. Like they really invested in her, and she broke away when she went over to go to Thailand to do massage school that they were paying for, so that she could become like better for Jeffrey. But she met a man out there and got away, thank God. But she was with them for a number of years. So the fact that she didn't see Donald Trump, I'm not saying that completely exonerates him from a Zach standpoint, but I definitely think that really helps the case.
Well, that's what you said. You said, what do you say now? I'm like, well, it's one person. I mean, there was thousands of girls coming through here. One person said no, but I hear what you're saying. Also,
she didn't really say no. She said, I don't remember.
No, not that I can remember. No. Yeah. But I think that's a no pretty much.
Yeah.
Also, God bless whoever goes through all these documents. Page 1919 of 2024. Like, thank you, you white knight out there.
You know, right?
Yeah. It's a lot of reading. All right. We only have a couple minutes left. We're trying to
the next one there. Just go to the Oprah one real quick.
Yeah.
Because this.
By the way, let's for maybe some new listeners and viewers. Let's remind everyone that Elvin got on Kirk's radar by referencing the supposed, maybe didn't happen in retrospect, raid of Oprah Winfrey's house back in like February or March or something like that, whenever that happened. But that was like kind of what snowballed this show.
Mm-hmm.
It was that
it
was that and Prince Charles when he caught COVID and you were like, he's got the plague or whatever, whatever he said. So this is something that we've been talking about for really.
I'm betting 1,000. It's looking like I'm going on a limb here and say all of these end up the way I thought on Kirk's show. Oprah, the Prince, Tom Hanks, he's going down.
Ellen.
They're all done.
Yeah, these are the usual suspects on our show.
So what's this? What is this actually saying? That we're saying that Oprah. Actually, do you want to read this?
Yeah, feds investigating flight logs of all planes that flew to Epstein Island / nearby airfields, including private jets and commercial aircraft. Lolita Express was just one of the hundreds of planes transporting kids and pedophiles. Spoiler: Oprah's jet at least 11 flights there. Now, that not to say if she was on the jet, not to say because we don't know that, but you can't say she didn't know the jet was there and what it was doing there.
Correct.
So that was pretty cool to find out. I hope that more comes out as the evidence rolls out on us here.
Who's this guy? Who posted this? Major, like, is this a credible?
Yeah, he's a major. He's
the
number one whistleblower. He's America's number one whistleblower.
It also says his actual handle is No Remorse Air Force Vet 4. It also says Space Force Advisor. Hashtag Pardon Snowden. America's number one whistleblower. Hashtag No Pro Sports.
Yeah, he's kind of all over the place, but hey.
He's followed by some popular people too.
Cat turd. George Papadopoulos.
And our girl Deanna.
That's right.
She got blown out, by the way.
Oh, did she?
What do you mean?
By Pelosi?
Yeah.
She's out. In the vote. Oh,
that sucks.
That's gonna happen in that district.
Yeah, not much you can do there.
All right, move on to the next one real quick. We got 3 left.
All right.
Because like what people don't realize is like, yeah, we got, a bunch of good stuff that came out, and we didn't even really touch on this, but Bill Clinton, his name came up a lot in this.
Oh, yes, it did.
He is probably the most implicated person out of this drop. Aside him, Alan Dershowitz, and Prince Andrew, I'd say. But we were supposed to get like everything last week, and the Second Circuit Court of Appeals granted Ghislaine a motion of stay, delaying the release of the 2015 deposition materials all the way until September 22nd, when they will hear her appeal. And this guy says Second Circuit Court is corrupt. So I have another tweet following this one to kind of explain what that's talking about, or the corrupt part. So I was bummed when I heard this, because I heard that like these deposition materials we're talking about, and this has come out recently in articles, that it's videos and pictures of the shit. So this, I was kind of, not that like I want to see it, but like I want it to be out to the public so that they realize that how real this is.
Is this your burner account? At the friend?
I wish I had that many followers.
Just a friend. That's what it says.
But yeah, can you just pull up the next link? Because I want to, the Second Circuit Court of Appeals there. So apparently,
look who it is.
The Chief Justice of the Second Circuit Court of Appeals, as well as 2 of the judges who made the Maxwell ruling, were appointed by none other than Bill Clinton himself. So when you wonder why they granted a stay to help delay the evidence implicating him, now you know. That's pretty interesting. I didn't know if you like. It only makes sense because I mean, especially after this dump that just came out with the Bill Clinton stuff, he can't afford to have more come out right now before the election. That's just going to soil the Democrat Party as a whole.
I mean, this is a perfect example of why this whole thing's so messy and why I don't think people are going to get in trouble. It's like this entangled web of all these people.
Everybody has people everywhere. It's fucking nuts.
It's so messy, dude.
And
the other thing that I'm kind of predicting, and we kind of talked about it before, was like with Clinton and all this Epstein shit, there was the rumor that Clinton had an affair with Ghislaine.
Yeah, we talked about that.
So that's going, unless there's hard evidence like video or something, he's going to be like, at worst case scenario, I was cheating on Hillary again, but I was cheating on her with a woman.
Right.
Yeah. With Ghislaine, not kids. I wasn't there for the kids. I was only there for Ghislaine. I just feel like worst case scenario, that's his out.
Totally. But we didn't have time for the clip here, but there's a, from the Virginia Giuffre testimony, it does say she saw him on the island with young girls. He was frequented a lot, so there was lots of orgies and stuff like that at Naomi Campbell's birthday party.
I almost feel like the opposite with Bill Clinton than I do with the Prince. Like he's going to be the other end of the spectrum where I just think he's going to die.
He might die before this happens. Yeah,
I think he's just going to be like either corona'd or whatever. Something's going to just magically happen that he dies.
Wait, Clinton's younger than Trump?
Is he?
Clinton's 73.
No shit. Well, isn't Trump?
I thought Trump was 74.
I knew he'd be 74.
Whatever. Why did I thought Clinton was like 80 something? Yeah, Trump's 74.
Yeah, Trump.
Bill Clinton's younger than what? That just blew my mind.
Wow.
You should have more respect for what Trump is looking like.
Yeah.
He's like.
He's the only president who hasn't aged. Like, he looks.
We talked about that, though. He's everything about him's fake. He's got fake hair, fake skin, fake everything. It's hard to age when you're fake.
True.
But yeah, it looks like that's like a present still. Clinton looks like
he's got energy for days.
Yeah.
Well, I agree with that. Even just like the way they walk and like stand upright and the whole thing. Like, yes, I do agree with that.
Yeah.
All right.
This was the last thing.
So this I just saw this before we got on here. So Judge Preska, she's the one who's pushing all of this material to come out. So not to be outdone by the Court of Appeals, signs off on the stay releasing the depositions, but then makes a move to further unseal more docket materials and has parties reporting by August 10th to streamline the process. So it looks like keep your eye on August 10th. That's next Monday. We might see some more stuff dumped out because this judge is not relenting. So let's all pray for her and her livelihood and her family because I'm sure they're going to be targeted soon.
This is the problem with anybody who tries to do the right thing, it feels like.
Yep.
It's
sad.
Or just do their job.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. But I wish her well, like Trump wished Ghislaine well.
It's true. Well, while you mentioned that, we don't have it on the call sheet, but obviously Trump took some heat for how he said, I wish her well.
In the
What
Axios interview?
Yeah, what are your just like quick thoughts as we wrap up?
Well, he did say in that interview that that he's definitely open to the idea that Epstein was killed in prison, and he seemed so. Here's the thing: he started off by saying, I wish a lot of people well. He shouldn't have taken that route. That was stupid. I think he was just kind of reeling for something. But then I think what his actual point was I still believe it was outing people, but I don't think he's going to go back and say that in an interview. More so, her staying alive in prison, unlike Jeffrey Epstein. And can we just say one thing? That August 10th date, wasn't that the day that Jeffrey Epstein was found dead in his cell last year? I'm pretty sure.
I think it is.
Just a coincidence on dates. Just throwing that out there too.
That was a year ago? Holy shit.
Yeah.
August 10th. Yep.
Holy shit.
So, all right, boys. You want to call it?
Yeah, I definitely want to call it. I don't have it on the call sheet. I thought it was super interesting from our girl Ashley on Twitter. The one with Jean-Benet Ramsey, that image
with Ghislaine potentially.
Check out any one of our Twitters is probably on there, including our friend online Ashley Durand. Right? Am I saying
Ashley
that?
Durand? Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So shout out for that. That's all we have for you tonight. We will catch you next week. Let us know what you'd like us to focus in on. Wise words, guys, as we head into the evening.
Just get well, Kirk. We're wishing you well. Nothing but love. Take your time, but we hope you do come back. No pressure.
and on a show note to the fans, I think we still want to do the live show. So we're still going to hopefully set that up soon and stay tuned.
Yep. Cool. All right, guys. Catch you next week.
All right. Peace.